Show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. The Knicks keep it rolling. Tonight against Portland, Jalen Brunson had a team-high 26. The three there, and OG Anunoby. Talked to him in a couple of moments. Had 24. Played great defense as well. The team played great team defense as well. The Knicks have now won 5 in a row as they beat the Blazers 127-97. Great to have you with us, Bill Pidto, along with Wally Szczerbiak. So it's a wire-to-wire win for the Knicks. They were up by 24 in the first half. Lead shrunk to 10 at the half, and then the Knicks blew Portland off the court in the second half. And the defense now, for the last 5 games, yes, Wally, they've held the opposition to under 100 points.
And the home court dominance that we saw at the beginning of the season, it's back. This team is getting back to playing the way they're capable of playing, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Teams are going to go through struggles. We're seeing Oklahoma City lose 3 out of 4. Knicks had a tough stretch after the NBA Cup. They kind of figured things out. They went back into the lab. Coach Mike Brown let the guys kind of realize we got to get after it on defense, and this team is scary when they play like this on D.
The turnabout on defense has been dramatic. So the Knicks went up by 24. And then you're like, you know, there's always these lulls a lot of times in these NBA games.
The panic Pidto.
No. I actually no. I'm like, all right.
Oh, no?
Portland's within 10, but they got within 8. Then I got panicked. No. And then the Knicks ran away with it in second half. How to explain the ebb and the flow there?
Well, listen, the other team's not trying to lose, all right? They have NBA players, too. So when they're down 25, they're trying to get themselves back in the game. You know, Shaedon Sharpe got going. The Knicks kind of changed up their lineup a little bit. And momentum is something that we see swing when teams are making threes. Shaedon Sharpe had 17 in the first half. He made a couple threes. But I remember always in the huddles, our coaches, our players, our leaders would always say, they made their run, now we make ours. And that's exactly what the Knicks did. Portland made a run at them, but the Knicks in the second half to start, especially the third quarter, they made their second run and put them away.
Knicks won the second half 68-48.
Yeah, you like that number. That's a plus 20. You're going to challenge Josh Hart to shoot that wide open three. Well, he's a 40% three-point shooter now. Why are you daring him to shoot, NBA? The guy is knocking him down at a high percentage. Crazy 8, OG Anunoby goes for a big game, 24 points, bunch of dunks, bunch of threes. Jalen Brunson, anytime the Knicks needed a bucket and it felt like maybe Portland was making a run to get back in the game, he would slam the door with a big shot. That play at the end of the third quarter was awesome. The way Mikal Bridges got that little bucket up at the buzzer. And then Karl Anthony Towns was quiet, scoring most of the game, but hit a couple big shots in the fourth quarter that helped extend the lead. How about Tyler Kolek stroking that three, coming in, was running the offense perfectly. Couple nice dimes today by Karl Anthony Towns, especially to OG Anunoby. He can really pass. And then OG, the aggressiveness was there. I mean, he was looking to score. He took over this game in the second half with his athleticism, with his cutting and his shooting. That was an impressive performance by Crazy 8.
Look at the Knicks from downtown, 19 out of 45. You mentioned Cat with 14 points, 20 rebounds. So he goes back-to-back games with at least 20 rebounds, only the 16th time in Knicks history that anybody's been able to do that. Kolek had 13 off the bench. Diawara had 10 off the bench, and the Knicks cruised by 30. Here now with OG Anunoby. OG, thanks so much for stopping by. You guys got out to an early 24-point lead. It was a wire-to-wire win. How'd you do it tonight?
Just coming out, doing the things we work on in practice and execute on the floor. They're a great team, very talented. So just emphasis on getting stops and running out and sharing the ball.
For the last 5 games, you guys have held the opposition to under 100 points. Why has the defense improved so much here in the last handful of games?
Just improved communication. It's a long season, so you're going to go through ups and downs. But just, after our recent little slump, just focusing on communication and just executing what we go through. Coach BOC is a great defensive coach, and just going and executing what he says.
Talking about defensive coordinator Brendan O'Connor. How about you holding Denny Avdia totally in check? He totally nullified his offensive game tonight. How'd you do it?
He's a great player, so just, trying to be aggressive, trying to make him uncomfortable. And then also it's a team effort, I would say, Kat was big time, Mikal, Josh, Mitch behind me. It was a team effort, I would say. It's a team effort when you're guarding a great player like that.
All right, OG, thanks so much for stopping by, and congrats on another great game.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a look at Anunoby. Avdia, by the way, tied a season low with 11 points, shot only 4 out of 14, and Anunoby back-to-back games now with at least 20 points.
Yeah, looking really aggressive, showing the complete arsenal, scoring in a lot of different ways, zero hesitation. And what I love about his game is the dunks. When he puts pressure on the rim, that's when you get yourself into rhythm.
That's changed here in the last handful of weeks, going to the basket much more than he has in the past, yes?
A little bit. It's just being a part of the offense where you're getting multiple stops, so he's really good in transition. Also, his cutting is elite, so as the season goes along, you get more and more comfortable with the offense. You figure out, how to get on the same page with your teammates and steal some dunks and some easy points. And once you do that, as a wing player, as a secondary scorer, that's when the threes start to flow. That's when you get aggressive and start knocking down those shots. 4 for 8 from the three-point line. It was just an impressive overall performance because you always know the defense is there, locking down Devin Avdia. He's going to be an all-star out in the West. He's having a great year, and OG really locked him down.
All right, Wally, let us say hello to Monica McNutt. As always, she helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, all good tonight from start to finish pretty much.
That was fun. Yeah, I got all these great notes from our statistician, Doug Midler. We've called them Duggets because Doug comes up with these nuggets. You got the Knicks holding an opponent under 100 for 3 straight games for the first time since March 2024. Love that one. And then over this win streak, allowing teams to score just 90.2 points per game. And so, yeah, there's a lot that you could be really excited about in terms of what happened offensively, including OG Anunoby. And Wally, I love your use of the word rhythm because I agree with you on that observation. But also defensively, I think this team is adding deposits in terms of their accountability to one another and the communication showing how good they can be defensively. Yes, I do acknowledge that Sunday will present a different challenge, but you still want to lay the tenets and the foundation of what you can do defensively.
Jalen Brunson, guys, was huge. 5 out of 12 from downtown. Today's thrilling moment. Tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on, Wally. Brunson was on it tonight.
He came out in the first half, 19 points, 13 points in the first quarter. Really aggressive, set the tone, helped the Knicks build that 24-point lead in the first half. And then, he's just so timely with the baskets that he makes. He has a great pulse of the feel of the game. When the Knicks need a big shot, I love these 4-point plays. I mean, this just is becoming an occurrence almost nightly, the way people are getting under his feet as he's shooting those threes. And he just stays so composed despite the fact people are draped all over him. I mean, another all-star-like performance. He's going to start in the all-star game. I can't wait to watch him representing Team USA against the world team this year. I think that's the best format in the all-star game. Hopefully it works out. And just another awesome performance by Jalen tonight.
Well, I agree with that. And it's funny because the first time out in the first quarter, he had not scored. And then he went on to rattle off those 13 points, and I believe from the 5:32-ish minute mark in that first quarter. But it's just a collective poise. And I think what OG Anunoby said to you, Pidto, I love the depth of this team. Yes, Jalen Brunson, number 11, your captain, your all-star, your leader, check the boxes on all of that. But I thought the productivity up and down the roster tonight, I thought Josh Hart had a terrific night. Even Karl Anthony Towns, another monster 20-rebound performance back-to-back for him in that category. And then, of course, getting 33 points from your bench. You love to see it.
Got to mention Jalen Brunson goes over the 10,000 career point mark.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a big milestone.
Yeah, big milestone for him and Josh Hart.
Congratulations.
And guys, you mentioned Josh Hart, Monica. Like Anunoby, he's gotten 2 straight games with at least 20 points. He had 20 tonight, had 22 the other night.
Josh Hart has been outstanding. Dealing with this ankle injury, just what he does for this team, the glue, and he's a sneaky good scorer. I mean, you look down at the box score every night, 20 points again. I mean, that's more than solid NBA game. He has a lot of different ways to hurt an opponent. The way he takes the ball to the basket, he has that little pull-up mid-range, and the way he's shooting the three-pointer is impressive, despite the fact teams are kind of daring him to shoot at times, but he's making them pay. And Josh Hart, very important, obviously, the glue to this team, the glue to that locker room, and just another outstanding performance, and he's really found his game in this 5-game winning streak, too.
I still giggle that he's somewhat hesitant, having a career year percentage-wise from the three-point line. He's still somewhat hesitant when he realizes he's wide open. But I'm with you, Wally. Let that thing fly, and if defenses don't adjust, he's shown an ability to make them pay. But I think he said to Alan Hahn on the PA at postgame, he talked about this team playing fast. And I will say that of this win streak, for me, this was one of the more enjoyable games in terms of the rhythm that they found early as a team, and part of that was pushing the pace.
All right, Monica. Thanks so much as always. We will talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
We continue here on our post-game show. Knicks wire-to-wire win over the Blazers. They win it by 30. Back with Wally. So Karl Anthony Towns for the second straight game gets at least 20 rebounds.
Wow.
Didn't score a lot again for him with 14 points. Got only 12 shots off, but give him credit. It's not impacting his ability to hit the boards. He's been phenomenal on the glass here the last 2 games.
Let's not forget this about Karl Anthony Towns. His ability to shoot the three and stretch the floor, it opens up driving lanes for all the other guards. Just him being out on the floor, let's not forget that, because he's an elite three-point shooter as a big man, so all teams guard him out there. He does so much to help this team win in so many different ways when he plays like he did tonight, just pounding the glass, both ends of the floor, height advantage all over the place, mobility advantage over Donovan Clingan, and then the passing. I mean, that is just a skilled play that he makes in his sleep, which not a lot of 7-footers have the ability to do that. So Karl Anthony Towns, despite the fact having a little bit of an up and down year, the Knicks are still 30-18 right now. They're on pace to win over 50 games. I mean, sometimes people think the floor's falling out of this team, but they're still playing great basketball, and Towns is still probably going to be an all-star. So all is good in Knickland.
Most rebounds in back-to-back games. Look at that. Towns,
there you go.
Camby, and now Towns at 42, at 22 against the Raptors the other night, and 20 tonight in the win over Portland. Post-game comments from Mike Brown. As Wally mentioned, the Knicks now a sparkling 30-18. They've won 5 games in a row. Welcome back, everyone, as the Knicks blow out the Blazers tonight, 127-97. We continue now from the Corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Next up, the Knicks play host to the Lakers Sunday night. That game's on national TV. So our next Knicks game here on MSG is Tuesday night, with the Knicks at the Wizards. Pregame at 6:30, and the game comes your way here at 7. Mike Brown's postgame comments, as always, presented by Chase.
You guys were good tonight. It's 4 of our last 5 opponents we've held under 100 points. And so defensively, our guys are doing a nice job. They're trying to do, what our rules are. They're trying to stay connected, trying to play off of one another. When that happens, good things happen for our team. We were 10 for 10 with 50-50 balls tonight, so we got after it in that area. Offensively, one of the things that we talked about at halftime, we had 9 assists. We went through a little spurt in that first half where we took some tough shots. The ball wasn't really moving, especially after it hit the paint. And then in the second half, our guys came out. They tried to touch the paint. They tried to move the basketball. And we generated 19 assists just in that second half alone. So that was good to see. A lot of really good performances from a lot of guys. OG obviously had a big game for us on both ends of the floor. Josh was big for us. Cat, this is Cat's second for sure consecutive game where he had 20-plus rebounds. And, to me, that's what great players do. They impact the game in a lot of different ways. And for him to have 22, I think, against Toronto and 20 tonight, a double-double, it was huge. Because 6 of those were offensive rebounds, and we beat them 20-9, and they're a very, very, very good offensive rebounding team. But we beat them 20-9 in second chance points and held them to 8 offensive rebounds. So great job by our group throughout the course of the game. And then Mikal, he was our defensive player of the game. It could have easily gone to a couple other people, but Mikal was very good for us on that end of the floor with his deflections and coming up with, I think, two or three 50-50 balls on his own.
Coach, can you talk about the job defensively you did on Denny? Came in averaging roughly 26, had 11 tonight, 4 for 14.
Yeah, we just try to throw a lot of different bodies at him. And one thing we keep telling our guys, it's not one guy that's responsible for stopping another guy, because that doesn't happen in the NBA. You got to be connected defensively, and it's basically 5 guys have to be on a string. And when that ball moves, everybody should move. And 5 guys, if 5 guys guard the basketball, like I'm saying, you'll usually get pretty good results.
Coach, your team has now won 5 straight. How have you liked your team's mindset and approach during the stretch?
Our guys have been good. We went through a little bit of adversity in terms of our wins and losses, and our guys just kind of stayed with it. And we kept trying to help them as best we could. Those guys stayed with it. They stayed together, And, this is a veteran group that has been through a lot. And, they figured out, what they needed to do to play at a high level. And they're going out and they're showing it.
Mike, I know you guys just are coming off the back-to-back, but before that you had 2 days in a game and then 2 days off in a game. Are you seeing is that benefiting you guys? Are you seeing that on the floor with your group now?
No, for sure. To be able to spend some time in the gym where you're not worried about playing a game has benefited us a ton. We've made, like I said, we've made some changes on both ends of the floor, and the more time we have to continue working on them, the better we'll be at the end of the day.
Like you talked about the ups and downs that you knew were going to come during the season. During this 5-game stretch, are you seeing things beyond the scores that give you encouragement that they're reaching that next level?
Yeah, and it starts defensively, and like I said, the way the guys are on a string, that is at a pretty high level. You got to be connected on that end of the floor. Obviously, you got to be connected all the time, offensively, defensively, off the floor, but especially defensively because good catch, very good, because shots aren't going to go in all the time. And you got to be able to hang your hat on something if shots aren't going in. And for us to be able to rebound like we're rebounding a la Cat and defend like we're defending, coming up with 50-50 balls like we are, I got to take my hat off to everybody on this roster.
Mike, you've been around a bunch of different teams leading up to the trade deadline, and it can affect them positively or negatively. They can go into a funk or whatever. Do you pay attention to that stuff? Do you see sort of maybe a renewed focus just because there's so much noise surrounding your team for whatever reason? Do you even pay attention to that, or with all correlation?
No, I mean, we understand that we have no control over the noise out there, and so, we have to have a bunker mentality. Not just during the trade deadline, but all the time, because there is a lot of noise out there. But we're all human, and you try not to listen to it. You just try to stay together, and you keep moving forward, trying to get better as the days go along. And I think that's what this group is trying to do.
Mike, when we talk about Jalen, obviously for good reason, we spend a lot of time on the offensive side of the ball. But from my vantage point, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like defensively there's just been another intensity he's had. I remember in the Toronto game early, like blowing up screens, getting through stuff. What have you seen from him and just his contributions to how this team is defended as he played as well?
No, you're 100% correct. I mean, Jalen's a good defender, and obviously a lot of people were sleep on that, and I don't know why they have for years. But he's competitive, he's feisty, he's strong. He did. There was a clip that we used from the Toronto game. We like to make sure we 1-2 into the ball with a little physicality while leading with your chest, not with your hands, and getting over the screen as the ball comes over the screen. And if there was a definition on how to defend the ball in an on-ball in a pick-and-roll situation when you're on the ball, like I said, that play would have been it, because he step slide, used his chest, and because he did that, quickly pushed off and he picked up an offensive foul. So he's been impressive leading with his chest, showing his hands, and trying to play defense the right way with a little chip on his shoulder. And so it's not just him, it's all of our guys that have done that. But it's good to see him doing it, especially with the scoring load that we put on him on the other end of the floor.
Talking about Jalen Brunson's defense, Sunday. Lakers in town. They blew out the Wizards. We show everyone on the 150. They're now 4-2 on an 8-game road trip. Luka Doncic is playing out of this world. LeBron James, who knows how many more trips he's got back here to MSG in his career. Going to be interesting Sunday night. What do you think?
It's going to be electric. It's going to be a big-time night. All the stars are going to be out for that one. And the Knicks just got to continue to play good basketball. They've struggled with those Western Conference teams a little bit in that losing streak, 9 out of 11. Beat a decent Portland team here. We've got to continue to play good basketball against the Lakers.
That's on Sunday. Knicks now 2-0. They sweep the season series from the Portland Trailblazers as they win tonight. Easily, 127-97. Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart both playing well. Knicks have won 5 games in a row.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
All right, Wallace, the Knicks have won 5 in a row, and 4 of the 5 wins, the Knicks opponent has scored fewer than 100 points. Look at those numbers. Stifling
numbers. It's all about percentages for me. And those opponent field goal percentage, 40%, and defending the three-point line at 27%. That is when you're starting to really ramp up your defense. That's a great sign for this team, showing that if you want to win an NBA championship, you got to play defense like this.
Blazers only 30% tonight from downtown. All Knicks tonight as they win it by 30. So the Knicks host the Lakers Sunday. That's on national TV. You can listen to the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Our next Knicks game here on MSG Tuesday at the Wizards. 6:30 pregame, game at 7. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports app. Want more than just a postgame show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports app. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.